Now in the beta. Move that out of the way. Alright, so Chase, you here?
It says you're playing Mordor.
It doesn't matter. I can always fix that when we edit it. Alright, so welcome everybody. This is the Cards and Castles Monster Island expansion exclusive beta. As you know, we're about 2 weeks out from the release of the game, and I just thought it would be nice to show you guys what's in store. What can you expect for the upcoming game? Alright, so I guess let's just get right into it. We're gonna go to cards here, and I think can they hear you, Chase? Or can you hear yourself?
I have no clue.
Alright, well I have a buddy with me, Chathan99.
Howdy.
You guys may have heard of him, you may have not. He's a buddy of mine. Alright, so right now we're going to take a look at some of these cards, starting with the Vikings. Now, there are going to be cards that have been changed, have been not changed, have remained the same. So, let's just go ahead and look at the Vikings right now. Like, first of all, we have Ice Weaving. Ice Weaving, let's see, we have a deal 3 damage to targets and freeze it. Now, the freeze can be useful when you're trying to stop someone. I think reducing it to 1 or making it 1 seems a bit more likely to be used as some sort of stop or removal. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Chase?
Yeah, it's always useful.
Yeah. Alright.
Especially with the 1 gold.
Yeah, the 1 goal is going to make it pop up a lot more. You'll be seeing that. Moving on to Call of War, that hasn't changed. Same card as always. Nothing new there. Dragon Taming. Let's talk about this. You can see it's still part of the Age of Dragons, so if you have it, it'll transfer over, I'm assuming. But let's go right now with this card. As you see, it's still an epic, but its cost and effect has been dramatically changed. It is now a 2 gold card and a 2 random drakes to your hand. Now, that you'll maybe be seeing in a Viking Crusader deck, because I'm pretty sure that we'll be seeing them a lot more because of this new system that's going to happen, which I should probably talk about before we actually start going any further into these cards. Now, if you notice, now the Ice Drake is not really a new card. Its cost has been reduced, its stats have changed, but that's not the point. You'll notice here that it is now, there's a text under it. It indicates that there will be some sort of way to put together these decks, almost like archetypes, in my opinion. And now, with that, I think, or what I believe is going to happen is there are going to be certain decks within ranked play now that'll focus on certain, how do I say, what am I looking for? Like, different, I want to say, like, types of builds that you could see. Like how you see all the burn back in normal rank play if you're up higher, or if you see this new rat thing going around. It's sort of like that. So as far as I know, we have about 5 to 6 different kinds of texts on these cards. Once we find them, I'll point them out to you. But the first is going to be dragons, and that's where I think this card, Dragon Taming, is going to be coming into play, because when you're adding random drakes to your hand, of course, this card used to be only ice drakes. Now they're kind of stepping up the variety a bit and are giving us more variety of cards that could pop into our hands. So that's definitely going to be interesting to see.
Lowered the gold to be Ice Drake before too.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. It's now 2 gold, but you know, other than that, Ice Drake hasn't been really changed that much. Now we're going to go to Hardened Scales. You can see Terminator Dragons. You may not know, but this is actually, it used to be Battle Hardened. This is now the new type of Battle Hardened. It only works on dragons now. And it's just a basic booster. It's a 2 gold, plus 3 attack, plus 3 health. You can definitely see it kind of got put into this new archetype deck building mechanic that's now going to be relevant. You're going to see this more of in dragon decks now. So, nothing really big there. Rampage hasn't changed. Shattering Strike. You guys remember, you might have remembered this card art from Ice Weapon. You're also going to see a lot of card art that is going to stay the same for a lot of these, which is no problem. It definitely makes it feel like we're not losing those legacy cards, but it'll probably be confusing when you have two of the same card with different abilities. But anyway, let's get on to Shattering Strike. It is a focus spell, and what this does is it destroys a frozen target, and you could draw a card. Now, this kind of can relate back to Ice Weaving, which may be a combo there, that deal 3 damage, like the freeze, and then you could just destroy the frozen target with Shattering Strike. You'll definitely, well, I don't think definitely, you may see this in a Viking deck. It's an interesting combo, but I don't know if it'll be any good. It's just my opinion. Moving on, Temple of the 5 Gods. Notice that it's sort of hasn't changed much. Its cost has been reduced. It's now, I think, a starter because there's no set indicator for it. And you can see it's been reduced to 3 health. Now, that all the buildings in this expansion are going to be put at a 3 health starter. I don't know why it's being reduced, but I can only assume it's just maybe easier removal on buildings. I'm not sure. They all used to be 5 health. You probably still maybe bring them up with some health boosting spells, but I'm not entirely sure why. Alright, so anyway, that hasn't changed much. Tower of Winter. Reduced cost. It used to be Tower of Ice. Not really much going on there. Sort of the same ability. Freeze. I could say now that this, though, deal 1 damage to nearby end. Yeah. This is probably going to be considered an obstacle. I'll explain more of that in a moment, but the deal 1 damage. This building will now, it won't have to be placed near your castle anymore. It's now going to have like this ability where you can place it any kind of where in the map, and I'll demonstrate that as we go into gameplay later on, but you'll see where we could place these cards. Moving down, Vortex hasn't changed. Berserker, I think there's a stat buff to 6 health. Not going there. Oh, and yes, Blessing of the Trent. This used to be the other sort of went hand in hand with Battle Hardened. You would see this a lot on archers and other low costing units like that. It's now kind of been reduced. I would say giving this to range is still a very high option, but it makes your units immobile. So if you don't want your guys moving, then this would be a good stat buff to put on them. I mean, it's interesting to see it being nerfed, because I know there were people like myself who didn't kind of appreciate the Battle Hardened and the Blessing of the Trent in the same move. Kind of annoyed me a bit. But now giving them that immobile really will decide for a lot of people if they still want to keep them in their decks. Alright, moving on to Freezing Pillar. Yes, here is an obstacle. Now, I don't know if the Tower of Winter is considered to be an obstacle. I don't remember, but the deal 1 damage kind of makes it, if I remember. But here's an obstacle. As you can see here, Must be played in the middle of the map and is considered hostile to both players. Obstacle abilities do not activate until one turn has passed. Now, the obstacles that we'll be seeing here, I mean, Freezing Pillar used to be an assault construct, same with Lava Pillar. They've been changed to obstacles now. Let's see what else. There's a combo with them that will work as I've tried out, and maybe we'll get into that later on again. But Freezing Pillar, other than that, 3 gold, 7 health. Anything to add on that, Chase? The Freezing Pillar?
The Tower of Winter?
No, the Freezing Pillar.
No.
No?
It's kind of like the old thing for the Warlock.
Yeah, the Lava Pillar.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on. Frost Strike, I don't remember what this card, I think it was still Frost Strike, but I think it's getting a new ability now. It's a focus spell, deal 4 damage and freeze. That could go hand in hand with the Shattering Strike. 3 gold. Maybe seeing that in some Viking decks. I would keep an eye out for that. Dragonball, significantly changed. Its cost is now 4 gold. It's still an epic. It deals damage still, but it's been reduced. Or I think, has Dragon Ball always been 5 damage? Or am I thinking something else?
I'm pretty sure.
Alright.
I haven't really used a Viking deck in a while.
Alright. Well, regardless. It also has a new ability, and will go hand in hand with that Dragon archetype we were discussing a bit earlier. If you happen to draw a Dragon card, once this card has been played, it's going to cost 3 less. That's basically what I've been saying with the Dragon decks. You'll probably be seeing that a bunch more. But it's still an epic, so we'll see if you pull that. Frozen Storm. I think it used to be a Blizzard or something like that. Knock all targets 2 spaces forward and freezes all enemies. This could be used to slow people down. It's a 4 gold. It's a rare spell. Not really much to say about this card. Kind of name suggests for itself. All of Winds, moving on. Of course, it's got the 3 health still. 4 gold, I think. That might be an increase. Correct me if I'm wrong. Each turn, knock all target spaces away from your side. You'll see when we get into gameplay how these new turns work, but Hall of Winds is a very aggressive defense, in my opinion. It's going to constantly keep moving them back, which definitely will be interesting. It even knocks buildings, from what I've played. So, we'll see how that works. Ice Blast. I don't know if that's new. I've never really used Ice Blast, but it's 4 gold. Deal 2 damage to all enemies in a 5x5 area, basically like Rakanoth's summoning, and freeze them. Excuse me. Not really much to say there. It's another freezing card. You'll see Vikings have a lot of that now in their arsenal, so beware of that. Lightning Bolt. I think there's a cost increase to 3. I don't think it's no longer a tournament card either. I think now it's being placed as a rare spell. I'm not sure. Spear Strike. That's new. It's used to be Gungear. It used to be a legend. You can see it's now a common, and it's another focus spell. Deal 4 damage to an enemy and chain 1 to all connected. I would say that's more in the focus spell category. I mean, you may see those in some of those. I think decks can actually be built around these new focus spells, which could be interesting to see. I'm excited to see how that would work out. But, yeah, kind of speaks for itself there. War Party. Rampage is becoming a thing now, I guess. Your units gain 1 attack and Rampage this turn. What do you have to say about this card, Chase? I'm going to leave this one to you since you haven't really talked much throughout this stream.
Well, I mean, the Rampage, it's practically 2 cards in one. Because you're getting the Rampage, which is 2 gold,